Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, my name's Ashley. I'm a professional cosplay photographer, Twitch affiliate, and TikToker. And today we are back at the Lexington Cemetery. As you can see behind me, we have a lovely mausoleum. And I am with Stacy of Rebel Kitty Cosplay, and she's going to chat with us today, and then we're going to go behind the scenes of her photo shoot, just like we always do. Stacy's one of the most talented people I have seen come across the cosplay community here in Central Kentucky area and surrounding states, to be honest, because I service Cincinnati, Indiana, Tennessee, and like this girl hand makes all of her costumes, and like she's just really amazing. And she hasn't came over here yet, so she's just really amazing, and I can't wait for you to see her cosplay for the day and hear what she has to say. And I just really hope you guys enjoy this. Stacy hand sews cosplays, and she's like a professional Star Wars cosplayer, and she's in guilds, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, so when we talk to her in a few minutes, I'll let her like kind of explain her thing. But like, I have never seen somebody so, I don't know, like she has that attention to detail that just makes her cosplays just rise above everybody else's. And I'm just so glad that she wanted to shoot with me today, and then she agreed to do this YouTube video. Also, it's finally fall, and I'm so excited, and I have been busting out 31 days of Halloween content here recently, and I can't wait for you to see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. I have all the way up until day 5 ready to go, and hopefully Stacy lets me use her photos for the 31 days of Halloween, and you can see it. After we're done with our shoot, like always, you can go to our Instagram pages and you can go to our other social medias and see the finished product of the shoot. And this is Stacy. She is from Rebel Kitty Cosplay, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hi everybody, my name is Stacy, and I am also known as Rebel Kitty Cosplay, and I've been a cosplayer since about 2015. So really enjoying it, and we're doing a kind of a spooky themed shoot today with Ashley. As the mummy version of Cleopatra.
Okay, so the first thing a lot of people really ask me whenever we're doing like these cosplay shoots and stuff, the wind's blowing, so I'm gonna have to get in y'all's face. But is what kind of advice would you give to people first starting out in cosplay?
I would say be creative, go with your gut instinct, and do something you love. Don't think you have to do it a traditional way. Just because, like I would say, one of my characters is Poison Ivy, so I've done riffs on her. I've done steampunk Poison Ivy. I've done forest fairy Poison Ivy. I haven't really done the traditional Poison Ivy, like when you see her in the cartoon, and that's okay. That's okay. These are characters that you get to play with and have fun with, and do what makes you happy. That's what I always tell people. Follow your heart and do what makes you happy and brings you joy.
Yes. Okay, so I get a lot of questions when people see my work.
Sorry, my bandages are all kind of screwy now.
They always want to know, like, I messed
She's
it up.
She's petting the bandages.
I messed it up more.
Like, no.
Let's just pet her boobs. A lot of people always ask me, we're gonna get back onto the thing, but a lot of people always ask me like if I edit the cosplayer's eyes in my photos, and a lot of times I don't. It's contacts. Where do you get your contacts, and what do you suggest?
I've got my violet ones in today. This is a nod to Liz, of course, Elizabeth Taylor, and her iconic portrayal of Cleopatra. Everyone says,
great movie.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal movie. Watch it if you haven't. But everyone said Liz Taylor had violet eyes. She actually didn't. She had really intense blue eyes.
She did.
But they photographed violet.
Yeah,
As
they
you
did.
know, sometimes with filters and things, you can manipulate that.
Yep.
These are contacts, though. What I have in my eyes today are my violet contacts, and I get mine from Honey Color. And you can go online. A lot of their contacts are FDA approved, so they're really safe. They do recommend only wearing them a year. So I always tell people, these are not for everyday use, and they are only good for about a year. Yeah. So do follow the instructions and don't leave them in overnight. Don't wear them every day. I just wear these for events, conventions, things like this. So, but Honey Color is where I get mine. There are other places you can get theatrical contact lenses. I know doctors, optometrists even offer them now.
Oh yeah, they do. They do, but I always notice your contacts and a couple other people that we're in the community with. They always have and I've heard that company before, and we'll link Honey Color. We'll link all of it into the comment section. So if you're interested in the contact or even her mummy costume today, I'll link all of it in the bio and all of her socials. So how did you get into it? How did you get into cosplay?
I got into it. It was 2015. One of my best friends, Jennifer, there was a convention in Louisville, and she said, I'm gonna go. Have you ever been? And I said, no, but I've always wanted to go to one. And she's like, well, you should come with me. It's on a Saturday. I said, okay. And then later she asked me, she said, well, one of her favorite characters that she cosplays is Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And she said, why don't you dress as Poison Ivy? Because Harley and Ivy are best friends. I said, okay, let's do it. So I started in 2015, Fandom Fest. In those days, I don't know if any of you remember Fandom Fest. It's no longer a convention anymore. But I started literally hot gluing ivy leaves to a shirt, and then that's what started the journey. I mean, I fell in love with it. I made a lot of friends. I kind of found my tribe. You know, I always thought I was like the weird one. And it's like, now I find people that are, you know, have the similar interests. Yeah. So it grew from there. I picked up sewing. I bought a sewing machine, and I was like, okay, I'm going to teach myself sewing now. And, you know, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. And, you know, I always tell people, I'm like, it's okay to sew. It's okay to hot glue. It's okay to buy stuff. It's okay to do closet cosplays. Like this, my mummy dress, I did not make it. I bought it off of Amazon. That is okay. Again, do what makes you happy and do a character that you love.
Exactly. And I want to touch on what she said about finding your tribe. I have heard so much about the toxicity in the cosplay community, but I have to say the people that I've elected to work with, the people I've elected to interact with, have been nothing but amazing. And it's not that I elected to, it's that they fell into my lap. Just because I just started promoting my stuff. I know she fell on me. But from day one of me wanting to do cosplay, because that's the whole reason I got into photography in the first place, was I wanted to do art. And I love the cosplay community. And I don't know if you remember before TikTok was Musical.ly, that's when I fell in love with cosplay.
Yeah.
And they had such a great cosplay community. TikTok kind of shits on the cosplay community now, but ever since then, like I started photography, I've met so many beautiful people, beautiful people. It's all about what you put out in the world is what you're going to get back. So with me and her, this is only the second time we've met, but I feel so comfortable with her just because of our online interactions. I feel like we're good friends.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And we talk, we text each other. Yeah. And what I love is your creative soul.
Thank you.
You know, and I respond to that. And you're right, Ashley. I mean, I believe in positivity through cosplay. And I believe, like you said, you put positivity out there, it's going to come back to you. You know, there is always that negative realm, but, you know, I just try to ignore it.
Yeah.
And I don't hang around if I find a negative person or someone that's like, meh, meh, meh. You know, that's not what it's about for me. This is a hobby. I'm supposed to be having fun, you know, and I've made a lot of good friends like you that, again, I've met through this hobby that I would have not met otherwise. So I'm very thankful for that.
Me too. And as she was talking to hobby, like I do this as a business, like everybody knows, but when it comes to people that I creatively like mesh with, a lot of times it doesn't even end up in like a real business transaction. Like she messaged me and was like, hey, let's do this. And I was like, hey, this much. And it was literally like she's told me this so many people. I was like, you got to charge me. I'm like, if I like you, no.
I was like, girl, you're underselling.
No. So she's just like, no. And I'm like, no, I like you. This is what we're doing. And this is the kind of relationships you need in the cosplay community.
Right.
Because relationships like this will help you flourish in other places.
Right. And that's what I love too about, you know I feel safe going to you and saying, Ashley, I have this idea. Do you think that. And I know you won't laugh at me and you'll say,
I'm a weirdo.
Let's do it. You know, and we'll figure it out. If we don't have all of the, you know, exact details ironed out, we'll figure it out as we go along, and she will create magic. I know she will.
Thank you. Like with this shoot, she had messaged me and was like, hey, can we do this here? And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't, like, because it was like last minute. Like she was like, I found a Sphinx, and I was like, I can't get to that location in time. And I was just like, I have so many shoots that day. And so we ended up here because we have all this beautiful stuff. And if you know anything about Cleopatra, she was in Rome a lot. Yep. So I was like, well, let's start here, and then we will make it up, and we will go to that Sphinx because I have to see that Sphinx now. So you gotta make deals. Yes. You gotta make packs. So we're gonna shoot this again.
Circle back.
Yeah, it may not be Mummy by the time we get back to it, but you'll see the Pharaoh again. So one really cool thing about Rebel Kitty, if you got in her name, Rebel, she is a professional Star Wars cosplayer, and she is in a lot of leagues. I call her professional. She gives me a look. But her costumes are on point. They are movie accurate. And I'm going to let her explain what leagues she's in and what exactly they are and what they do.
Yes, I'm in the 501st Legion and also the Rebel Legion in the Star Wars costume community. And you can go there. Both have websites and forums, but think of the 501st as the bad guy part. That's like Darth Vader and all the stormtroopers. The nickname is 501st Legion, bad guys doing good. And then the Rebel Legion is more of the characters like Princess Leia, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, the good guy side of the house. So they're international costuming groups, and because there are members from all over the world, and we strive to do accurate movie accurate or screen accurate costume reproductions. And we go to troops, we go to conventions, and then there's the charity work aspect, which I really love, because I always say if you have a hobby, do good with it. Yes. So with both 501st Legion and Rebel Legion, we do work with like the children's hospitals in Louisville as well as here in Lexington. You know, we try to raise money to do good things.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
I really love that aspect, you know, finding a hobby that you love and then helping other people with it. So, and it's worth it too, just to see the smiles on kids' faces. I mean, one of my characters I do for the Rebel Legion is I'm Princess Leia. So, you know, people of all ages recognize her, you know, and that's really cool to be able to represent that.
So a few months ago we did, I never could say it, the Bosch Leia?
Bosch Leia.
Bosch Leia.
Bosch Leia.
We did the Bosch Leia.
Yeah.
And we were down in the distillery district. And if you're familiar with Lexington, Kentucky, you're going to know what the distillery district is.
Yeah.
It is packed all the time. It's full of pubs, breweries, arcade bars, axe throwing, pizza places. Lots of people. We were walking through, and they stopped her every 2 seconds. They were like, your costume on point, your costume on point. And when the pictures came out, like the feedback we both got from them was like
phenomenal,
so phenomenal. It made me, because I never watched Star Wars until we shot that. I only went and watched
I made her go watch the scenes. I was like, you've got to watch these before we shoot.
She watched the scenes, and then I have a friend named Paul, and he was like, you shot a Star Wars shoot and never watched it. I said, I watched the one with Jar Jar Binks. And he was like, that's the worst one. And I was like, I love Jar Jar Binks. What's wrong with you? He was like, watch them all and shut up. And so I finally have watched the original first two. So we're working our way through. I'm going to go back to the three from the 90s, and then I'm going to hit the new ones.
You're working on it, and that's the correct order to do it, too. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
But I'll link that shoot in the comments, too, so you can see what we're talking about. Yeah. All right, I just want to thank Stacy so much for coming on and doing this YouTube video with me. These are just a lot of fun, and I'm going to let her tell you about her socials so you can find her.
Yes, I'm on Facebook. You can find me at Rebel Kitty Cosplay, and I'm also on Instagram at the little @ sign, Rebel Kitty Cosplay as well. So come check it out, please.
You on TikTok too?
I'm not real big into TikTok. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
We're gonna change
Ashley's
that.
gonna work on me.
We're gonna change that. Y'all know my TikTok.
I do have a TikTok account. It's just not super active. I'm more active on Facebook and Instagram.
That's okay. I'll get her on there. And lean up with your back against one of the columns. Yeah. And then I want you to bring one hand up like, you know, damsel in distress. Yeah, just like that. And then hold it. Bring your chin more out. And then bring your hand a little bit lower down. Yeah, I want to get your nails more. Yeah, perfect.
You and I were talking.
So if you guys are curious about the jokes we're making, there's an obelisk down there. And we're making penis jokes. Like, look at this.
So do you want me to sit on the top step? Or would you like...
And like put your hand like on your forehead with that, yeah.
Am I covered? I don't want to
You're fine. You're good. She doesn't want to be indecent, but she looks so decent. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this YouTube video, and I want to thank Stacy of Rebel Kitty Cosplay again for coming all the way here from her town, because she drove over an hour to be with me today. Also, if you don't know who I am, again, I am Ashley. I'm a professional cosplay photographer, TikToker, and Twitch affiliate. You can find the links down below if you want to follow me. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment, leave a comment, be nice. If you're not, that's okay too, because it helps me in the algorithm. Have a great day.